Hello guys, in today's video I'll be explaining the concept of metaphysical poetry. Before that, it is important to mention that this is a very huge and complex genre and it cannot be explained so easily. This video is for those who are looking for a very basic and simple explanation, just to get an idea of metaphysical poetry. So metaphysical poetry emerged in 17th century England. This term was first coined by a 17th century critic, Samuel Johnson. He was referring to a group of poets who started to adopt a very inventive style in their poetry. This group included poets like John Donne, George Herbert, Andrew Marvell and others. Now let's break down the term metaphysical. It comes from the Greek word meta, meaning beyond, and physics, referring to the physical world around us. So the metaphysical poems explore things that are beyond our physical world. It deals with very complex philosophical, spiritual and intellectual themes. Let's explore some features of metaphysical poetry with example to understand it more clearly. Metaphysical poetry is known for being highly intellectual. These poems are used as a platform to deal with very complex philosophical questions about the nature of existence, human consciousness, and the relationship between spiritual and material world. For example, in Andrew Marvell's famous poem To His Coy Mistress, he says, "But at my back I always hear time's winged chariot hurrying near." Here, Marvell is personifying time as a chariot racing towards them, creating a sense of urgency. He wants to remind us about the unstoppable passage of time. In this way, metaphysical poetry grapples with big ideas and is trying to make sense of the world around us through poetic language. Another feature of these poems is the use of metaphysical conceits or extended metaphors. We know what a metaphor is. It compares two completely unrelated things. For example, the phrase, "I am a night owl." It means that I stay awake at night. But an extended metaphor, also known as a metaphysical conceit, just means that the metaphor is very exaggerated. Like two completely different things is compared in a very surprising manner. For example, in John Donne's poem, A Valediction Forbidding Mourning, he says, "If they be two, they are two so, as stiff twin compasses are two." Here he compared the love between him and his partner to a compass. Even if they are two souls, they are connected like the arrows of a compass. Even though physically they may be apart, their love remains connected and steadfast. Lastly, metaphysical poetry is also known for being very witty and clever. You'll also find a lot of wordplay here. These poems often use very witty language to challenge and provoke thoughts. For example, one of the poems presents the idea that the souls of two lovers are actually one. So even if they are apart, there is an expansion, not a gap. So what it really means is that the two souls of the lover expands like a rubber band, and that makes them even stronger even if they are apart. So these were some basic features of metaphysical poetry. In conclusion, this genre deals with very complex ideas in a poetic manner. Hopefully this video made it easy for you to understand the basic idea of metaphysical poetry. Let us know your queries in the comments down below and stay tuned for more.